Welcome, scholars. Today we're going to be covering the history of the Black Panther Party. Thank y'all for tapping in, and happy holidays to all the amazing people out there. Right, I appreciate you. So two quick disclaimers before we get into it. So it's gonna be a fun course. Been wanting to talk about the Black Panthers for a while. First things first, as I'm sure maybe a few other folks out there, I'm getting over just like a little bit of a flu, right? So like the first 2 days I was down bad. Second or third day I was feeling a little bit better. The queen got me some good tea, was eating some nice salads, some fruits. Day four felt almost normal, and right now I'm on day five, and I'm feeling pretty good. But when I get into the cardio of teaching, and if y'all know, if y'all been to a class before, I get into it. I may start coughing. Don't be alarmed. I have my water right here. I'll go ahead and do a flush. It will be all good. But I didn't want my sickness, didn't want this, temporary feeling to stop this amazing course today. All right. If you can appreciate that, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment, show some love, show some appreciation. We appreciate y'all for showing up. Again, today we are going over the history of the Black Panther Party. If you don't know, the Black Panthers were an amazing, revolutionary, community driven organization, right? It's much more than just the Wakanda Forever Black Panther, right? I think that connection is almost overshadowing the real legacy and the real heroes that existed during the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and some still to this day, right? So we don't want of course, the dopeness of the Black Panther Marvel series, Disney series. We don't want that to overshadow the Black Panthers of our reality, who are really in those streets fighting as heroes for us. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We did have a really dope guest lecturer coming, Eric Majette. But he had to do some other stuff with another very important person. I don't know. He's not a name dropping type of person like that. He told me the person that he got pulled into a meeting with, and he had to address it. And it's a $1 billion person. All right. So we're not quite there at the $1 billion status. We'll get there soon. But we're definitely going to get Brother Majette on here next time to do a deeper dive, because he's really an expert in the Black Panther Party. But I'm going to do what I can this morning or this afternoon. All right. So go ahead and drop in the comments where you're calling in from or where you're watching in from. I know we have some of our Black Wall Street community folks in here. We got some of our iMi folks in here, some of our amazing YouTube family. Go ahead and put where you are calling or where you are joining in from. All right. Now, add this in here. As y'all know, a little brief introduction to iMi. We're here to increase Black studies and to serve as a think tank for research. We have three main components that we offer: on-demand courses, which are in our iMi Black Studies portal, available for y'all. We have free events just like this, right, where we have just community guests come on or guest lecturers come on and teach from their own expertise. And then, of course, we are building our incubator and accelerator program as well. We're hosting our first pitch competition February 3rd at UCLA. It's going to be popping. So that's going to be our first kind of step into the incubator process. But more to come very soon, y'all. So we're excited about what iMi has done so far. It's been 2 solid years of programming and course offerings, and we're going to keep on building with your support. All right. So lastly, if you want to be successful within the iMi portal and this class in particular, make sure you're active, right? Ask questions. Go ahead and put comments inside the chat. Answer the questions that we ask you all. And of course, make sure you stay connected with the real world, right? We try to make sure we take Black studies and not just talk about it from a theoretical lens, but how can we apply the legacy, the 10-point program, the resilience of the Black Panther Party today? How can we take the 7 elements of Afrofuturism and apply them to our life today? How can we learn about the amazing entrepreneurs of Black Wall Street? And how can we take those lessons and apply them today? All right. So this is not a theoretical course. We want to make sure that things are applicable. All right. If you rock with that, let us know. And then lastly, we have 3 membership options. And these membership option prices will be, I hate to say doubling, but they will be doubling in 2023. We're adding more staff to the iMi team, to the Play Black Wall Street Academy team. We want to do more courses like this live. We want to make sure our study guides are up to curriculum standards, and we're just really wanting to take this platform to the next level. And to do that, we need to invest our own, efforts, our own income as well. So we are upping the value that comes with Black studies. And real quick, and then we're gonna get into the let's see the comments. Okay, we got Birmingham, Alabama in the building. What other cities? Go ahead, drop the cities and anything that you want to learn in particular today when we're covering Black Panthers. Shout out to Birmingham, Alabama. Um, but we're really trying to do more value with these Black studies. So if y'all know my story, I didn't learn about Tulsa Black Wall Street until my freshman year of college. 18 years old, still way soon before a lot of other people learned about Tulsa Black Wall Street, right? But once I learned about Tulsa Black Wall Street, once I learned that there was a community of people that looked like me that built an entire city, my mind never went back, right? My mind was on entrepreneurship from that date. My mind was on real estate development and community development from then, right? Before I was doing a little bit of that, but after learning what my people can do, after learning what we could do when we pull together, it was a completely different trajectory, right? So in my head, being able to expose scholars at 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, 15 years old to Black excellence, to scholars, to wealth building people throughout generations, to community leaders that look like them, that are trying to build and support the community that looks like them, has a different impact on people's future, right? And that's what we're trying to do here at iMi, Institute of Melanated Innovation, expose you to Black studies early so that you can build your amazing Black future in the future. All right. Janelle from San Antonio. Welcome, welcome. We're about to get into it. All right. So again, those are three membership options. Y'all can go to imifoundation.com. The link is in the video that you're watching right now. Get your all access pass. All access pass right now is only $29.99. Only for less than $30. You can get access to all of our courses and all future courses. We have the Play Black Wall Street Academy, which is only $14.99 right now. Literally everyone that I tell about that one is like, oh yeah, that's the one. $15 a month, and that's focused on entrepreneurship and the history of Black Wall Street. You'll get all the courses in there. And then if you just want, a little bit of a snack, you just want to get some information, you can do the Black Studies Snacks membership for only $8. All right, but I want to get into it. We'll talk about memberships. If y'all have questions, drop the questions. But just know, I just got back from Ghana as well. So it's just, I have a lot of energy right now when it comes to education. Okay. So a group that everybody on this call and everyone in the Black community needs to know is the Black Panther Party. Okay. So go ahead and put inside the chat right now. What do you already know about the Black Panther Party? What do you already know? It can be anything, like maybe the state on when it was founded, around the years, maybe a little bit about what they stood for. Anything that go ahead and put that inside of the live chat or inside the comments. All right. And if you don't know anything, that's fine. That's why you're here. We're gonna do some learning. We're gonna do some learning, we're gonna do some teaching. We're gonna have fun today. All right. So let's get into it. These are 5 or 4 things that we're going to cover today. All right. Hey, we got someone from Cali. Oh no, you're not from Cali, you're from San Antonio. I see you, Janelle. But you know that the Black Panther Party was founded in California. I see you. I see you. You're a scholar. All right. So we're going to go over these 4 main things today when we talk about the Black Panthers. All right. So we're going to go over the founders and the founding date and the founding city, Janelle. We're going to go over the original mission. Right? Because I think sometimes, for whatever reason, there's a lot of propaganda, right? And a lot of rumors and a lot of things that you see about the Black Panthers, right? And for me, it was a lot of violence growing up. Like that's what was portrayed of the Black Panther Party. But that wasn't the root, right? That wasn't the original, the OG mission of what they were doing. That was a response. That was a reaction. So we're gonna get to what was their original mission. And then we're gonna go through the 10-point program. And this is where you're definitely gonna want to take notes all throughout, but specifically the 10-point program, take notes. And I want you to think about how much of the 10-point program is still applicable today, right? So the 10-point program was like what the Black Panthers were basically demanding from the United States government, right? These are the 10 things that we need as a people. Now, fast forward 50 years, let me know how accurate you think these 10 points still are today in 2022 or 2055, whenever you're watching this video 10 years from now. All right. Let's see. I believe the time period was 60s and 70s. I see you. You're a scholar. I see you, Janelle. You're a scholar. I love it. So I nerd out on this stuff. So yeah, y'all forgive me if I smile too much. If you hear my dorky laugh, it's gonna come out. It's what it is. As long as I don't cough. That's what no. Okay, let's get into it. Thank you for the engagement in the chat. I appreciate it. All right, so starting off, founding date. And Janelle, I'll give you probably a nice 85% on the information, right? On the founding information. So the Black Panther Party was founded October 15th, 1966. All right, you said 60s, 70s. I see you. And it was founded in Oakland, California. All right. Oakland, California. And Oakland, I think today has a pretty big reputation for its music, for its swag. The Bay Area of California has that grit to it, right? And it was no different in the 60s and 70s. The Oakland area still had that grit to it. And from that grit, right, from that struggle, from that place of community, the Black Panther Party was born. All right. And here are the three founders. All right. So we have Huey P. Newton. He is one of the most notable founders, most notable Panthers, right? We have Bobby Seale, also very notable. And then we have Elbert Howard, whose name is not as often said when talked about with the Black Panthers, but he's also one of the founders. And something that I want to highlight is Huey P. is a college student, a very well educated. If you ever hear him speak, very eloquent, speaking, intellectual, right? Something that I aspire to be. But again, college age student. We have some scholars on here who may be in middle school, high school. Maybe you're in college and you're figuring out, how do I make a difference? How do I make a change? And who are some examples of people in history that were my age that I can kind of model after? Right. And I'm not saying that Huey P is an exact model for line, action for action. But if you are looking for examples of college students who made systemic and generational change, Huey P. Newton is top 10, in my opinion. Y'all let me know if you found other folks, but Huey P. Newton, top 10 for me. All right. Knowledge for me, that part, yes. Here for the knowledge. All right. So getting back to it. Boom. Those are the three founders. And when I was in college, I got the opportunity, the privilege to do a lot of activism work as well, meet a lot of amazing people. So I do recommend getting involved at any level when you're in your education process, right? Whether it's in high school, whether it's in college, get involved, because you have no idea what type of difference, type of impact you might be able to make. Okay. All right, here are the three founders. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and drop those inside the chat. Now, original name, right? So we know them as like just the Black Panthers. Some people know them as the Black Panther Party, right? If you watched the Black Messiah, anyone watch the Black Messiah? You check that out. The Black Messiah is a good movie, really centered on Fred Hampton. And just the line that is in my head over and over again is I'm Fred Hampton, chairman of Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. Just over and over again. Love it. Right. But original mission. So the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense. Okay, that is the original full name of this organization, the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense. All right, so I want to just double down on this, the intentionality and the purpose of the name, right? So first, Black Panther Party. Why do you think they decided to call themselves a party? Just think about that for a few seconds. And then let me know why you think they decided to call themselves the Black Panther Party. And I saw I glitched out a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and circle back, right? So why do you think they call themselves Black Panther Party? All right. And maybe hopefully by now you got a chance to think about it. I appreciate the comments in here. The movie was definitely awesome. All right, check it out. Loved it. Yeah, well done. Well done. I see y'all. All right. So it's called Black Panther Party because it started off as and still is a political party, right? Like the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Green Party. So when they started this organization, they started it with the end vision of this is a political movement that we are doing for Black people. Second part of it, Black Panther Party of Self-Defense. Right? Again, from the very inception of this organization, they wanted to make sure it was clear we aren't attacking anybody. We aren't trying to do any overwhelming violence to groups. We are just defending ourselves. Okay. And I want to read this mission: protecting the community from police brutality by policing the police and utilizing the constitutional right to own and carry firearms. All right, one more time because I know it's kind of small. So if you don't have the binocular glasses like I do, you might not be able to read it. So I'll go one more time, y'all. And definitely take your notes. This is the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense, founded October 15th, 1966 in Oakland, California. All right. And their original mission was protecting the community from police brutality or by policing the police and utilizing the constitutional right to own and carry firearms. Okay. Now, a very interesting note that I have in here. You see the asterisk in the second body right there that I'll read. I found this very interesting that in 1967, in response to the presence of the Black Panther Party in California, Governor Ronald Reagan passed the Mulford Act, which repealed the right to right to open carry in California. Think about that, right? So, and I don't know. I see. We got Texas, right? So, for example, Texas is an open carry state, right? Arizona, open carry state. California at one point was an open carry state, but because of the leadership of the Black Panther Party, because of the presence of the Black Panther Party in California and strong, independent, intellectual Black men and women walking around with firearms as their legal right, like all other citizens were doing in California and other states. The governor changed the law for open carry. Think about how powerful that is, and think about if that were to happen in Texas right now. If the governor was to say, "Hey, you know what? We want to take away the right to open carry," Texans would not have it at all, right? Arizonians would not have it at all. But somehow in California, because of the presence of a strong, educated, and united Black community, there was some fear there of having Black people carry the guns. Okay, so let's want to see how powerful one organizations are or black folks are when we come together, but also how laws change to stop certain people from doing certain things. Right? We know how redlining in California and all across the United States, those policies affected how black folks can own homes, right? And we see how the Mulford Act of 1967 from Ronald Reagan changed how people in general can carry weapons in California. Okay, so laws and policies very important. Party for the people. I see you. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, let's get back into it. And again, more questions. Feel free to bring it up. We're about to get into arguably the best part. That is the 10-point program. And I broke these up into basically four categories. Okay. Within the 10-point program, there's going to be four categories. And y'all let me know which category you think each one is going to fall under. Okay. So the four categories are: one, power and economics. All right. They're asking for some type of power or economic power. Next one is going to be quality of life. This is food related. This is housing related, mental health related, right? Quality of life. We got number three, justice reform, right? They want to change the system. Number four, manifest destiny, the ability to create your own destiny and be in charge of your future. Y'all let me know which of the four sections you think these 10-point programs going to be a part of. Y'all ready? All right. If you're still with us, go ahead and just type Black Panther Party. All right, Black Panther Party. Just type that inside the chat. If you're still good, you're still awake, you're still rocking with us, you didn't go off and eat lunch or something, go ahead and just type in Black Panther Party inside the chat so we know we're good to go. Because the internet isn't always on our side. I find it interesting sometimes when we're teaching in class and we're right when we get to like the really good stuff, all of a sudden the internet wants to start acting up. All right. All right, let's keep it going. I haven't. Number one, freedom. All right, number one, we want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our Black community. We believe that Black people will not be free until we are able to determine our destiny. As number one. Okay. And again, these are basically a list of 10 demands that the Black Panther Party and the community they came up with this list. They're like, this is what we want, United States. As Black citizens of America, these are the things that we want. All right. And let me know, Black Panther Party. I see you, Janelle. Thank you. Let me know today, are Black people free? Think about this. Right. If we were to ask for this today, is it still applicable? If we were to say, hey, we want freedom, we want power to determine our own destiny. In 2022, do we have power to determine our own destiny? I don't want to sway you either way. What do you think? All right, based on your community, based on your experience, do we have power to determine our own destiny? All right. You have listen, I have plenty of those. I see you, Janelle. Plenty of those. All right, let's go to the next one. Number two, employment. We want full employment of our people. We believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every man employment or a guaranteed income. So, what I find interesting is this concept of guaranteed income, because it's been made very popular in recent political terms, right? Probably since 2000 and maybe 16, when his name was Andrew Yang, right? He was an Asian president candidate. Wasn't able to win, but he went on the Breakfast Club, and interesting, he went on the Breakfast Club, right? Breakfast Club, mostly a kind of a radio show host or a podcast that's talking to the Black community, right? Andrew Yang went on there and he said that there should be a guaranteed income. And then fast forward, I believe Elizabeth Warren is talking a little bit about there should be a guaranteed income. It's like, where did that come from? Did they get that from the Black Panther Party 50 years ago when they demanded that the United States government give everybody either a job, right? We're not lazy. Give us the job, we will do the job to get the work, or just give us the income. And it's going to be interesting what we evolve into as an economy, because I think we're moving towards automation. We're moving towards a lot of things being virtual. During 2019, there were, you know, checks being sent out to people to guarantee income or supplement income in some type of way. So y'all let me know. Sorry, I said too much. I said too much to sway you. Today is number 2 still applicable? For the Black community, if we were to come together and ask for something, would we ask for full employment for our people? And do we still believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every man or every person employment or a guaranteed income? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? All right. I know there's a little bit of a distance between me asking and your response. I'm gonna keep going. When I see the response, I'll circle back to it. All right. So number 3. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. We want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our Black community. We believe that this racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. All right. We want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our Black community. All right. So, capitalism, for those that may not know, is a type of economy, right? There's capitalism, there's socialism, there's communism, there's all types of things all in between there, right? But those are probably the major 3. In a capitalist society, you're making money off of selling goods. There's full competition, and there's a little bit of regulation, but there's definitely no limits, right? No limits, no lows. It's all about competition, getting the best prices, making the most money. That's capitalism. And unfortunately, in America, capitalism was really built off of the backs of my ancestors, possibly your ancestors, right? Enslaved Africans that came here, and we gave free labor, right? That's as low as it goes, pretty much. We gave free labor. In exchange for that free labor, they were able to get cotton, tobacco, a whole bunch of crops, build furniture, watch their children, a lot of other things, right? And that created an economy. But today, how is that still connected to taking away from the Black community? All right. So if you're working at McDonald's, you're working at the Nike store, you're working at Ralph's, you're getting paid your $8 an hour, your $9 an hour, but the company's making $1,000 an hour off of your labor. Is that fair? All right. So I think that's basically what Black Panther Party is talking about here. Is we want to make sure we want to end the robbery of capitalism of our Black community. Right. So there's all these other businesses in the Black community. How can we get our own businesses in there? How can we have our own Black Wall Street, basically, that's putting money into the community instead of taking money and talent away from the community? Okay. Oh yeah, I like what Janelle said in here. Give us the job, but pay us what we are worth. And that is the struggle sometimes of capitalism, is the owner of the company, right? They're incentivized not to pay you what you're worth because they're incentivized to make as much profit as possible. Because the more profit that they make, the more they can give to their shareholders or give to their owners or keep for themselves, right? And that's why we need more Black Wall Streets. We need more cooperative economic where we bring our money together and we're all making money together, right? So for our team, we pay our team far above minimum wage because we value them as people. And we know the better that our people are doing, the better that our community will do. So the more entrepreneurs that we have, like you watching, right? Yep, like right there, you watching. I know you got a business idea, right? So it's up to you to create that business idea and then be able to hire people in your community and pay them what they're worth. Or find a Black owned company, right? Whether it's a fashion company, a tech company, a education company, a what else is there? Travel agency, right? And find a Black owned company that you can grow and build with who will pay you a fair wage. All right. Love it. Let's keep going. If there are any other questions, feel free to keep dropping them inside the chat and we will get to them. Number four. All right. Number four on the 10-point program for the Black Panthers is we want decent housing fit for shelter of human beings. Human beings. Believe that if the white landlords will not give. Here we go. Let's try that again. We believe that if the white landlords will not give the decent housing to our Black community, then the housing and the landlord and the land should be made into cooperatives so that our community with government aid can build and make decent housing for its people. All right. So we want decent housing. If you're not going to give us decent housing, just give us the land so we can make our own decent housing. Does that make sense? Let's get unblurred. Come on, camera. All right, but that makes sense, right? Kind of like how what I imagine, and I'm not 100% educated on this. So if anybody knows folks that live on native land or indigenous land, definitely let me know how it works. But from what I imagine, the indigenous population was given a section of land and they're able to build on that land, right? Whether it's casinos, whether it's homes, whether it's agriculture, schools, you're able to now use that land and build it up. So for the Black community, how can we get our either decent housing or how can we get an allotment of land that we are now able to freely build upon for ourselves as a cooperative, right? We get my family. I got family in California, in Texas, in Detroit, in Alabama, in where else? Vegas, right? So I get all our family, all 100 of us, and we're given 1,000 acres somewhere. We can build something nice, right? And imagine our family builds right next to your family, builds right next to your friend's family. Now we have our own community, right? So decent housing was something else that the Black Panthers were asking for. And in case it's not clear, right? In case it's not clear, what I'm reading off of these slides are the words from the Black Panthers. Okay. So I don't want to, offend anybody on here, or I don't want y'all to think that these are my original thoughts. They are not my original thoughts, though I do agree with some of these thoughts. All right. So these are quotes from the Black Panther 10-point program, taken directly from the 10-point program. All right. Now, let's get back into it. Number five, education, right? They're tackling a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff. Let me know if y'all think the housing one is still applicable today. Let me know if y'all think housing is still something we need more of today for the Black community. But another thing that they were asking for was education. We want education for our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present day society. What does that sound like to y'all? What does that sound like to y'all? There's a certain buzzword that's going around a lot in high schools for sure, a little bit in middle schools. It's been in colleges since maybe the 80s, right? But we want education that teaches us our history and our role in how the world became what it is today. What does that sound like? Black studies, ethnic studies, right? That's what it sounds like to me. Right? I want to know not just about the the short time period that is American slavery. Like I know when I was in school, that's when it came to Black studies or African American history that we were learning. Either we were learning about slavery or we were learning about the civil rights. We weren't learning about Mansa Musa. We weren't learning about Queen Saraonya. We weren't learning about ancient Kemet, also known as Egypt. We weren't learning about the Moorish Empire and how they took over Spain and Italy and a lot of Europe. We weren't learning how Europeans came down to Africa to learn from the first universities, right? We didn't learn any of that stuff in middle school or high school. So what the Black Panther Party right here, what they're asking for is we want education that teaches us about who we truly are, right? And not only talk about what white men have done in society. Let's talk about what Black women have done. Let's talk about what the Asiatic Black man has done. Let's talk about what all these other organizations and people have done for the world and not just white and European individuals. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. This is the one that I am gonna give my opinion on. I wholeheartedly, oh, too wholeheartedly with the cough. I wholeheartedly still believe that we want education for our people. I still think this is something that we need additional access to. Right. And yep, Janelle got it. This sounds very similar to critical race theory. Right. So this is like kind of a news buzzword that's been going around a lot. But Black Panther were asking this back in 1966, right? Way ahead of the curve. All right, let's keep going. We're halfway now. We're halfway now. Number 6. We want all Black men to be exempt from military service. We believe that Black people should not be forced to fight in the military service to defend a racist government that does not protect us. So, if you don't know, this is your first engagement with the channel. My name is Devon Travell, and I create a board game called Black Wall Street, the board game. Right? It's about the history of Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and how a group, a white mob, really came into Tulsa. And it's a long story. It's a very long story. I'm making it short, but this white mob came into Tulsa and burnt it down almost to the ground. Now, I'm connecting it to this exemption from military service because a large group of Black men that were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Greenwood, in Tulsa Black Wall Street were military veterans. And these military veterans had just got back home and they were defending as best they could their community. But to the Black Panthers' point, how is it that I can travel across the world to defend the United States of America as a Black man, as a Black woman, but on the my own home, where in America, the government won't come to my aid? Right. So here, I think this is a very controversial one, but it's a deep one too. Right. Military exception, exemption. They feel like we should not be forced into military service. Right. If you want to volunteer still, you can still volunteer. They're not saying Black people shouldn't be in the military at all, but they're just saying we should get an exemption from having to enlist, right? To being forced to enlist. And if you don't know, when you fill out the aid for the FAFSA, right? The free application for federal student aid when you're trying to get into colleges, in order to qualify for federal aid, if you want those federal grants, you actually need to enlist. And you're not actively enlisting, but you're basically saying, I'm able bodied, I'm clicking this. If you're a male, I'm clicking this and I am basically putting my name into a hat. And if y'all pick names, I'm willing to serve. Right. So it's still, I think, today an important thing to think about because we have our Black folks going to colleges, right? Applying for federal student aid. We have no idea when the next war could be. So exemption, it's a very interesting thing, very controversial, I know, but it's an interesting one. All right, y'all, let me know if you have any thoughts inside the chat on if you think number 6 is still applicable to this day. Let me know. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm going to take a short commercial break. One, to get water, and two, to catch my breath because, like I said, I'm coming off of the flu. I'm almost there, but I'm just going to introduce y'all a little bit to Play Black Wall Street Academy, and I'll be back in literally 30 seconds. We have Black Studies courses available today for just $1. Your kids can't learn everything they need to on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook alone. So we created the most powerful online Black Studies course and platform we could. You can start today for just $1. Learn about Mansa Musa, learn about Tulsa's Black Wall Street, learn about Queen Calafia, Queen Saraonya, and all the other melanated genius and brilliance that this world has to offer today for just $1. Go ahead and click the link below, and we'll see your scholars in class. Perfect. That was just the 30 seconds that I needed. Welcome back. Let's see. Yep, nope, not putting those up. All right, let's keep going. Number 7. And there will be bots that come on here. Unfortunately, some bots will find us whenever we're talking about good stuff for the Black community. That's how you know we're on the right track. So just ignore any bots that you see, please. So number 7, ending police brutality. We want an immediate end to police brutality and the murder of Black people. We believe we can end police brutality in our Black community by organizing Black self-defense groups that are dedicated to defending our Black community from racist police, oppression, and brutality. Is this still applicable today? Is ending police brutality something that you think should be high on the list of priorities for the Black community? And I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, see if an answer comes in. But I know on our side, right, we teach a class at a few LAUSD schools or schools out here in LA, and at least, sorry, let me back up. We teach a class, and the whole point of the class is to get folks to identify problems in the community that they want to see solved, and then build a business idea around solving that problem. We had at least 3 to 4 groups say that police brutality is a problem. At least 3 to 4 groups. These at different schools, right? So they're not all coming from the exact same community, although it is all LA, saying that police brutality is still an issue today, 2022. Right. 1960s. Again, since 1966, it's been a problem, possibly. All right, don't want to sway you. Still a problem today. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna go a little bit faster because I keep getting interrupted, and I don't want the quality of the overall video and course to go down because of interruptions. So I'm gonna try to get through these next three a little bit more quickly. Number 8, we want freedom for all Black men held in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. We believe that all Black people should be released from the many jails and prisons because they have not received a fair and impartial trial. All right, so now we're talking a little bit more to the justice reform, right? But they're saying we want all of our folks who are incarcerated right now, who have been imprisoned right now, to be released. And this is another controversial one, you know. And if the internet was working with us this afternoon, I would spend more time giving my opinion here. But unfortunately, we'll come back. We'll do a part two. We'll bring Eric on, who's a deep dive expert, and it's gonna be a complete vibe, y'all. All right, so make sure y'all come back. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not subscribed. Enroll in Play Black Wall Street Academy. Make sure y'all come back. But this is an interesting one to think about. We want freedom for all Black men held in federal state prisons. Is this something today in 2022 the Black community would still ask for? And after a slight pause, I'm gonna give one to think about, and I'm gonna keep it going because I want to get through it. But one thing I wanted us to think about is the I don't know the correct term, but the cannabis or the marijuana reform that we're currently going through, and how there were prisoners who were starting to get released from previous charges from marijuana, right? So we already see how the law has impacted Black communities, Black and brown communities from marijuana. We saw the crack cocaine versus powder cocaine difference, right, in sentencing. And there hasn't been too much, from what I know, and I'm not too educated on those laws, but there hasn't been too much healing done in that process, right? So I think there's possibly still some work that we can do. It said, oh yeah, and someone said for number 7, this has not ended, right? Police brutality has definitely not ended, so it'll still be on the list. All right, let's keep it going. We got two more. Fair trial. Number 9, fair trial. We want all Black people, when brought to trial, to be tried in court by a jury of their peer group or people from their Black communities, as defined by the Constitution of the United States. All right. So if you didn't know, especially early in 1960s, 1930s, if a Black person committed a crime, you went to court, went to trial, right? Black or white, you went to trial. But at that time, the only people who can be in the jury were white people, right? So if I commit a crime as a Black man for whatever reason, especially in 1920s, 1930s, my fate is in the opinions of people who aren't of the same background as me. That makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense, right? It's not fair. It's not fair for someone who has no idea the context, the background of where I come from, the cultural nuances of where I come from, why I made a decision to now possibly be in charge of my life. Put me in jail for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, but not really know where my mindset or where I was coming from when I made the decision. Right. So that's why in the Constitution, it's written out to be tried by a jury of your peers, right? Peers, people who come from your situation, who understand your culture and know a little bit about your background and why you may have made that decision. All right. So that's all the Black Panthers were asking for right here in number 9. Right. We want a fair trial. We want a trial where people from our communities, from our backgrounds, who can understand where we're coming from, we're making a decision, can now be in charge of our fate. Okay. All right. And someone said, number 8 was a difficult one. Most definitely, it is. Number 8, I'll go back to it. It is a difficult one, and I don't. Oh, there's so much to talk about here. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But yes, it is a difficult one. All right, last one. Last one. We want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, and peace. I just want to let that sit in for a second because I think for whatever reason, the Black Panther Party is seen as a violent party. But as you see here in number 10, we want land, we want bread, we want housing, education, clothing, justice, and last but not least, peace. All right. Let me know if you think number 10 is still applicable today. All right. So again, those are the different 10-point program. That was the 10-point program for the Black Panther Party, organized in kind of 4 different segments: power and economics, quality of life, and justice reform / manifest destiny. All right. My personal favorite, I mean, I think the one that I'm most connected to and on my own mission is probably education. Right? We want education for our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in present day society. That's, I think, if I were to take one of the 10 points and be responsible for one, it would be that one. All right, you go ahead and let me know which one you connect with the most. All right, if you got to go to your notes, feel free, but go ahead and put that inside the chat. Which one of the 10 you connected with the most? All right, but that's what I have for y'all for today in class. I'm gonna stay and see if there's any questions, comments. Definitely feel free to put those inside the chat, and I will get to them. Um, Apologize that we weren't able to get Eric on today. Again, he had a busy schedule, so things at the last minute he had to shake another way. But he said he's definitely gonna come back. His presentation is ready, it's set, and he was very excited this morning to get on. But he wasn't able to make it at the last minute. So we're gonna definitely reschedule that. If y'all didn't tap into our course with Eric covering Marcus Garvey, whew, listen. Sorry, I told you the nerd's gonna come out a little bit. Um, yeah, it was great. Right. Again, he has just so many stories and details when it comes to this stuff. So I look forward to having Eric back on. Again, this is your first time engaging with the channel or engaging with myself. My name is Devon Travell, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, a family fun way of learning the legacy of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. Around the board are real businesses from Greenwood, from Black Wall Street, like Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon, Uncle Steve's Barbecue, Dreamland Theater, and so many more. So if you're interested in getting Black Wall Street, the board game, and you're watching this on YouTube, in the description, there's a link. Just go ahead and go to that description, click the link, head to playblackwallstreet.com, and go ahead and get your game. This just happened, but I'll share it. Share it. I'll share it. We just sent over 500 Black Wall Street games to each player in the NBA. Right? And not saying 500 to each player, like each player got one game, but because there's over 500 players in the NBA, each player got one game. All right, so your boy Steph got a game, LeBron got a game, Russ got a game. All your favorite players in the NBA just got Black Wall Street, the board game. So if you don't have it yet, make sure y'all go to blackwallstreet.com and go ahead and pick yourself up a game. Okay, so I'll wait. Someone said we want reparations. I agree. In California, they are thinking about giving reparations of $233,000. And I think I'm going to do a whole course on what you should do with your reparations money. Because I'm concerned, to be honest with you, I'm a little concerned about a lot of people getting this money but then not having a plan for how they're going to keep the money within the family and keep flipping it. So I think we're going to make a course on that for sure. But yeah, reparations. And then they said number 10 was the one that they vibe with the most. It sums up everything. It makes it simple. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay. So that's the course for today. Again, make sure y'all go ahead and enroll in Play Black Wall Street Academy using the links below. We will see you in class next year. We are taking it to the next level. More live classes, more intent behind the courses that we teach, and just overall more Black brilliance, more Black excellence, more Black studies. All right. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, have an amazing holiday season. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.